All because I opened a window to air out the room. My husband's childhood sweetheart, Celine Ashcroft, caught a cold. In a fit of rage, my husband, Ronan Blackwood, had his men bind me and drag me down to the ice cellar despite my being 5 months pregnant. Don't think that just because you're carrying my child, you can bully Celine. If even a single hair on her head is harmed, I'll make you repay it 100-fold. Shivering violently from the cold, I knelt through tears, begging for forgiveness. I promised that from now on I would serve his precious sweetheart well to atone, that I would never again let her suffer even the slightest harm. He only gave a cold order to seal the cellar, saying I needed to be taught a lesson so it would be burned into my memory. A week later, when Celine finally recovered from her cold, he finally remembered me in the cellar. Vesper, have you truly realized your mistake? As long as you agree to kneel and apologize to Celine immediately, I'll spare you. What he didn't know was that by then, I had already frozen stiff in that ice cellar, and the child he had treasured so dearly no longer showed even the faintest sign of life. Chapter 1. What was Vesper thinking? She knew Celine was frail, yet she still opened the window and let her catch a severe cold. She must have done it on purpose to harm her. Ronan Blackwood hurled the thermometer onto the expensive cashmere rug. The sharp crack of shattering glass echoed through the living room, matching the violent fury burning in his eyes and dragging the entire space into a suffocating chill. The servants nearby didn't dare breathe. They shrank into the corners, trembling. Old Alfred Reeves, the longtime butler, forced himself to step forward. His voice carried a faint, uncontrollable tremor. Sir, Madam only felt the room was stuffy and opened the window for some air. The wind wasn't strong that day, and Miss Celine may have simply kicked off her blanket during the night. Enough. Ronan cut him off sharply, his gaze colder than ice. You dare speak for her, too? Celine has been weak since childhood. She can't handle even the slightest draft. Vesper has lived here this long, and you expect me to believe she didn't know that? She's jealous of Celine's place in my heart. She seized the chance to get back at her. The Celine he spoke of, Celine Ashcroft, was the girl who had grown up by his side. In Ronan's heart, she was gentle, kind, fragile, a treasure that needed his protection for the rest of her life. As for me, Vesper Whitlock, I was nothing more than a wife imposed on him by a family alliance. A woman who occupied the title of Mrs. Blackwood but had no place in his heart. Bring her here. His voice did not hold a trace of warmth. Soon, 2 bodyguards dragged me into the living room. At 5 months pregnant, my belly had already begun to show. Even the loose maternity dress couldn't hide the soft curve. The moment I heard his words, my face went pale. I struggled, desperate to explain. Ronan, I didn't do it on purpose.